Okay, you guys, you've seen all the videos of people having grinder discs blow up and then their hands shaking. My hand's not shaking, but holy you don't want to see my underwear, but that was too close. I'd rather lose a finger. I had both hands on this grinder and the disc blew up. And it popped backwards and hit me in the crotch. You cannot be too careful. I'm wearing a cup from now on, dudes. I'm gonna go buy a cup. But I gotta get the job done, so. Yep. Okay, guys, I just want to show you, I've got a couple theories on what happened. And so this might help you keep yourself from getting injured. Obviously, my pants got ripped open from my grinder hitting me in the crotch. And how did that happen? There's a couple things here that happened. So I was cutting these cheap Chinese welds off this Connex lifting bracket. And so we're replacing them with heavier ones, right? But I thought I was being safe. You know, I had the big shield on. I had this on my face. I had safety glasses on underneath. I put on these big welding gloves because they feel safer because they're thicker. And I was using a regular cutoff disc that I've used for decades, right? So I was cutting this off right here. And as I'm cutting, this rocked a little bit. I think that's what happened. It's kind of heavy steel, but it rocked some. And that's what caused it to twist, and it broke my disc. Okay, if a disc breaks and blows up and goes flying everywhere, that happens, right? I got the guard on, I got the face protection on, so I should be pretty safe. That's pretty safe, right? It's no guarantees. But when it rocked and it broke the disc, that also jammed the grinder, right? So now it wants to twist somewhere. And this is an 8 amp grinder or 9 amp grinder, I can't remember, 9 amps, so this is powerful, right? For a small grinder. Do you see the problem? You see my grip here? Looks where both of those are open, the same direction, okay? So I can lose my grip here, and I can lose my grip here, and that's exactly what happened. So when I'm grinding and it busted, it flipped out of my hand like that, and flipped up and hit me in the crotch. Now the only thing that saved my accessories is this paddle switch, because that cut it off as soon as it left my grip, right? And so it's already starting to wind down, and then when it wound up on my pants, that cut it off. Had I had a switch on, that would have stayed running, and it probably would have cut the crap out of me. And who knows what would have happened, right? We might be having this conversation because I might be in surgery or the hospital. So I thought I was being safer wearing thicker gloves. Was I? Now, I don't have small hands. I wear an XL glove in most gloves. I wear a size 8 surgical glove, if that means anything to you. And so my hand's not small, but look at my grip here. That's a big space that it could just be ripped out, right? And then with this big glove on, look at that. I can't even get my hand, I can't even get a good grip on it. Now that's great that it's a paddle wheel, but it's also way too big right here. Now this Harbor Freight one, which there's some things I like about it, some things I don't. Look at this grip. Okay, I can get my hand all the way around it, hit the trigger, and it's running, right? Also, this trigger, if I let it go, it'll shut off. But it's got a click on button right here, which I'll use sometimes. I'll click it on and leave it on. That would have been dangerous too. These handles are about the same size. But I guess what I'm saying is something I'm gonna have to consider is, yeah, these gloves probably would have protected my arms, but they weakened my grip because you just can't grip as well. You know, look at that. I can wrap my hand, thumb. So, you know, as far as the size of these things go, if you've got bigger gloves on or thicker gloves, this may not be a good solution to use a thicker glove when you're using these things. Now, I was talking to my mechanic buddy. He was telling me that I was like, man, maybe I should replace all my grinders with these paddles. And he said, well, the danger in his mind was, at least in his opinion, was these are the dangerous things, right? These are what can blow up. The flat disc, other things can cut your fingers off. But they're not gonna, they typically don't come apart. Grinder discs can come apart, but they're much thicker and they usually don't. Never use these for grinding, right? Because they're just for cutting. You never want to grind it and get it thin because that's when they start blowing up too. So, so just a couple things to think about. The glove thickness, the position of my hands, and what can go wrong as far as the position of the grinder go. I never thought that would have happened, ever, ever. All right, so hope that helps you guys. Hope you don't end up with a big hole in your pants. And post any questions down below or any ideas. Please post below. I'd love to hear your comments. Thanks.